Branson, currently in Rojava. I ended up coming back for the Manbij operation and then the push to Jalalabad. And it's good to be back. I ended up coming back because there was so many shaheed for the operation at the beginning stages that I just couldn't stand by while they needed help. So I got to a unit in Tabor, and Haddock Tabor, and was there for the operation, and then the push to take Jalalabad. Unfortunately, now we have issues with that. We were pushed back by Turkish artillery at first, and now with the invasion of the Turkish FSA, or the rebels that were coming from Azaz, also linked to Al-Qaeda. These are the same rebels that have worked with al-Nusra in the past, fighting against the regime in Idlib. This is who we're actually currently fighting right now. Right now it's just getting that complete FSA brand. And so I just want to put the word out there. So I know this isn't being reported in the United States and a lot of places of who Turkey is actually using right now. So if you do your research about the Sultan Brigade and the different Mujahideen groups that are fighting for the Turks right now and pushing into Jalalabad, you see that these people have the same ties as a lot of the groups that have been working with FSA alongside al-Nusra against the regime in the past. So it's just, I just hope the United States government decides to step up and say this is wrong, and also knows that if you stop us from pushing to Afrin and allow Turkey to push down to take Manbij, then your operations in the future against ISIS and Raqqa and other places will become non-existent from Kurdish forces, and in essence, you will preserve ISIS. The Raqqa offensive won't be for years to come by doing this, by allowing this to happen. The Turks will never push down to Raqqa. They'll never take Raqqa. For several years, they enjoyed a peaceful border with ISIS. And in fact, as many other reports have said, lots of oil has traveled up through Turkey, and then you have to fund a war somehow logistically, food, supplies, things you can't provide for yourself, such as RPG rounds, Deutschke rounds, things they can't make themselves. They have to come from somewhere. They're funding a war in Iraq and Syria on several different fronts, fighting against several different forces, shooting these munitions on a daily basis. They don't just make themselves or capture them. They're being supplied from somewhere. And obviously Turkey is the only safe and peaceful border they've had for years. So it's just put two and two together. I mean, the American public know this, but the American, obviously the government, doesn't really want to talk about it. Turkey is a member of NATO, and they'd like to keep them in NATO. So since after the coup happened, Turkey warmed up to Iran and Russia, and now America has decided to allow Turkey to do what it wants to a degree in this area to try to keep them as allies. So at the same time, they're committing injustices in this area. Just the other day, 40 civilians were killed by Turkish airstrike because they bombed us indiscriminately. In the town of Derek, 2 people were killed as Turkish border guards shoot at us randomly. Another man was killed in Remalan just 2 days ago. I mean, it's not being reported by American media, and it's just the injustice of this all. It's just to see a force that's been fighting against ISIS, the most useful force that has been fighting against ISIS, being stopped. We were going to cut off the Turkish border so they could no longer sell their logistics, their oil, and then receive them from the Turkish border, and thus crippling them. We're also cutting off the way for their foreign fighters to get home. If they can't get through Turkey, they can't get back into Europe. This was also one of our main objectives, and now that border is being saved. Just because the Turks move their border down south doesn't mean it's going to change anything. Yes, they're occupying a piece of Syria now, but it's still the same border. They're still going to share a border with ISIS, and they're still going to sell and receive logistics. Nothing has changed there. So if the American government or other members of Europe or the American people think that, oh, Turkey's now fighting ISIS, they're not fighting ISIS. They're just stopping the Kurds from linking up their cannons. That was 100% the main objective of this operation. ISIS just happened to own a small piece of territory between us and them. So I just ask the people out there to try to keep themselves informed on the situation, what's actually going on the ground right now. So it means a lot to us out here to have someone championing this back home.